They've won Tonys and Oscars and Emmys and Grammys. There's no red carpet because they're home in their jammies. From Melrose Place to Broadway to Janeway and her crew. Let Seth and James bring all the stars to you.
Anywho.
They're entertaining everyone, so who's gonna grouse? Just sit right back and you'll hear some tales on Stars in the House.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Stars in the House.
Hi.
I'm James Wesley, and this is my husband.
Finally,
You don't have a name?
Oh, Seth Rudetsky. So finally, we could say hair and makeup by Julie.
Yes. Well, we didn't do the makeup, though. The bags under the eyes. I told her to be on standby, but I was like, you know what? The light washes enough out. It's okay.
Just got to pull it all back, people.
Hi. Welcome to our live stream that we've been doing. Seth just said, because in March, it's going to be 2 years. And you were like, 2 years? Yes, Seth, 2 years.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
We're going to have our 2-year anniversary in March, and we're going to do something extra special.
That's right. We just haven't figured it out yet.
Once we figure it out.
Yes. But anyway, we are here. Yes. Thank you for the comments. Julia will appreciate them for our haircuts. We appreciate. Before she goes to school, she goes back to school on Friday. It was going to be last week, but because of the pandemic, the school, I think, very wisely decided, instead of going virtual, that they pushed everything back by 2 weeks. So they still get their spring break, the graduation for those who graduated, everything's just 2 weeks later.
Well, also more than that, they have to isolate for the week before.
Yeah, they're supposed to isolate for the week before.
So that'll just kind of keep the COVID
testing. And I actually I just did a PCR test yesterday. I am negative because only one of us is allowed to. Seth doesn't drive, and only one of us is allowed to
drive. I choose not to.
Seth, we've been together for 15 years, and you've driven a time. You cannot say you drive. It gives the wrong impression.
I'm able to drive.
There you go. You are able to drive.
I just don't like it.
You don't like it.
Anywho, you're going to be moving Julianne.
Yeah, and I have to show proof, and I have to show proof of a negative PCR test to help her move back into school. So anyway, we are here because David reminded me that we hadn't done a best of 2021, and he put together some great clips. So we're gonna show those. We have Carson Elrod from Be an Arts Hero, though it also has a new name. So we'll talk to Carson about that and his congressional testimony that he gave just a few days ago. And Seth, when I was thinking of Carson and the congressional testimony, I bet there's something about me that you don't know.
I know you were indicted once by Congress.
No, but I didn't do congressional testimony, and that's really cool and awesome. But I did the next best thing, and that was when I was going to University of Massachusetts at Boston. I was a political science major, and I did my internship at the Kennedy Library, and you know that. And Senator Ted Kennedy was alive at the time, and he was the chair of the Education Committee in the Senate, and he was taking testimony at the Kennedy Library on the importance of financial aid, public financial aid, like Pell Grants and so on. And I was one of the people who testified in front of Senator Kennedy.
Oh, why it was important to have financial aid?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to go to college if it weren't for financial aid. So that was something about me you didn't know.
I really didn't know. I didn't know that.
It's kind of like when I saw that Carson was and I watched some of the testimony that he gave, and I was like, oh my God, I completely forgot that I had done that. Anyway, it was.
Did you finally pay back all your loans?
I did. You know what? I didn't really have that many loans. One, I went to public school.
I was going to say, I went to private.
And it was much cheaper then. And number three, because the Pell Grants were pretty healthy. And so I think I was done with my student loan in 2 years. So, and I paid it back.
My student loan up until age 35.
No, that's a no, dear. No, I finished that up. Anyway, before we bring Carson on, we have some amazing videos, because those of you who watch. Oh, by the way, hold on, I'm all over the place because we haven't been here for a while. I want to tell
2022.
No, we weren't in the beginning because we had the Come From Away game night.
That was 2022.
Yes,
that was in the
apartment. The first Monday. Yeah, we were in the apartment. First time here in the house. And then I did a medical update.
Right. Well, I was in Florida.
That's right. But I want to say, for the Actors Fund, our new total in the Actors Fund, if you don't know, is for every professional in the entertainment world in the United States, in the entertainment community in the United States, coast to coast, on stage, backstage, for financial help and the amazing workshops that they do. And one of them,
I
yes,
was going to
Seth, go
say,
ahead.
by the way, you think, oh, Broadway's back. What does it matter? Okay, Waitress closed early. Jagged Little Pill closed early. They just announced Assassins is now closing early. So there is no stability right now in the arts. And when Assassins close, it's not just the actors, it's everybody backstage. Everybody is out of a job. So that's why the Actors Fund is still doling out the money, and that's why we're still raising it.
Absolutely. And it's also not just Broadway, as we always say, because, there are many shows, and this is going to be,
Broadway.
well, I mean, outside of New York. And this is why, because most shows cannot afford to have understudies.
Jennifer Cody, did you know that Jennifer Cody, did I tell you this last time? Jennifer
No.
Cody flew to Florida to work
Oh.
on a new show, and the day she got there, they're like, the entire show's canceled.
Exactly.
So she didn't get any other work because she's like, oh, I've got this great job coming up.
And our friend Kara Serber in Dallas Fort Worth, she was working on a show and it got canceled again. The lack of understudies and actors depend on those weeks to get health insurance.
Exactly.
And so, in fact, we're next Monday's show is going to be dedicated to understudies and standbys, and there's a lot of great stories. You're so excited about getting that together. But I want to say, of course, if you need help, go to actorsfund.org. However, if you're able to donate, please go to starsinthehouse.com or text fund 2020 to 56512. Forward your receipt to donations at starsinthehouse.com, and we will read it. In fact, our new total is raised for the Actors Fund $1,119,915.
A, that's a bravo. B, we are already getting donations. That's how amazing our loyal viewers are.
That's so nice. I want to share this workshop that's coming up because February is around the corner. This is from Maggie, our friend at the Actors Fund, our liaison. It's called Gendertainers. This is an 8-week, and everything is virtual, so this is for anyone can join. This 8-week group starts in February and aims to create a safe and affirming space for performing arts and entertainment professionals whose gender identity exists outside of the male-female binary and or are of the trans experience, as well as those who are questioning their gender identity. To learn more, visit actorsfund.org/support groups.
That's really great because I think a lot of people that are all those things listed think there's no space for them in the entertainment field. I think that's really, really great. You don't want to read those donations?
Well, I was going to go to this, but absolutely. Why don't you? I just read these. Why don't you read those, Seth?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Seth and James. Welcome home. Happy to jumpstart donations to be an arts hero. We've missed you, and I'm so glad to get my Sith Stars in the House fix again. Also, thanks for 2 wonderful concert nights. Oh, thank you. My live concert. Petitioning to have an all James concert soon. Brava. Love always to you and Sith Core Fam. Lori S in Texas. $35. Thank you, Lori. And someone is up super late.
I'm so happy you're back, guys. Love Isabel from Germany. $25.
25 Deutschmarks.
Thank you, Isabel. Well, as the Sith Core Fam knows, before we bring Carson on, one of the reasons we were gone was because we were on the high seas and we could not get the Ethernet to work or the internet to work.
We were supposed to give 3 months notice. They said if you'd given us 2 months notice, we could have done it. So we didn't have to.
we didn't do 3.
We did.
You know how we work day of, and we did not give 3 months notice, so we did not have internet on the ship. However, we wanted to give a little
soupçon,
of the cruise, and Julie, of course, our daughter, with her TikTok, did an amazing job on the intro to the ship. Here we go.
Before our flight to Fort Lauderdale, we went to Magnolia Bakery. Then Nadine and I got packed and headed off to LaGuardia Airport with my dad. We're going to Florida to go on the Celebrity Apex. We actually had a couple of our flights canceled and had to rebook, but finally we got on and actually got upgraded to Comfort Plus. The flight was beyond perfect, and 3 short hours later, we were in Florida. Yay! It was a delicious 70 degrees out, and I was ready to go to the hotel to see my friend David. Longtime friend, and he actually works for my parents. The next morning, we went out for breakfast and got ready to get on the boat. I have a crazy story about our Uber driver, but that's for a different TikTok. We showed our passport, vaccine card, and a few other things, and then we were on the boat. Our room is absolutely fabulous. We have a balcony and everything. We also have a perfect view of the water, and a cool feature that lets us open up the window. After we unpacked and explored our room, we went up to my parents' room. And I've got to say, their room is elite. Their bed looks right onto the water, and they have a huge balcony. They do have one really weird feature, which is their bathroom. there's actually a window that opens up so you can see while you're taking a shower. There you go, David is testing it out for you. Also, look at the shirts he made. So cute. This is the Eden, one of the bars on the boat, and it's stunning. At night, they have acrobats. I also met up with my Uncle Jack, and I'm so excited that he's on the cruise. We always have the best time together. He's hilarious. And you can definitely see he's very happy to be here. My dad got some coffee, then we had some lunch, and I ended it with a lovely pina colada. What a beautiful start to my day.
Ah, yes. And in fact, you may have seen this. David made these amazing shirts for all of us. I was not wearing mine at that point, but there it is. But right before we got on,
look how I'm holding Lily.
it is so good. It is so good. It was such a wonderful surprise, and here I am actually wearing it when we were in the water. So,
oh my God, that picture is so amazing. How was that taken? Julie took that through a window?
No, there was someone on the boat. I don't know if that was in Mexico or Belize, but you paid them like, I don't know, $30. David would remember, and then they picked out the pictures. I actually haven't even seen them all.
How are they taking it?
Oh,
underwater?
I don't know. We'll ask David.
I thought Julie took that picture.
No.
Okay,
it's professionals. Okay, we have 2 more videos, and we're going to bring Carson on. The next video we want to show, we had Jessica Vosk, Krista Rodriguez, Beth Level, 3 amazingly talented women, the nicest people in the world, people that we literally hung out with all the time. And we normally do our variety show on the last night, but because of COVID and everyone had just been tested, we were like, the safest thing is to do it basically within 24 hours and of beginning on the ship. So we did, because we have our passengers are part of the variety show that you'll see here.
So let me give you some background.
Yeah, so we did it in the big theater, which we never do. Go ahead, Seth.
So a couple of things. So Beth Level brought her friend Anne Van Cleve. So Beth had started Mamma Mia on Broadway, and her and Anne, normally we rehearse the entire week. Instead, we rehearsed basically an hour. Beth Level and Anne Van Cleve taught all the passengers Mamma Mia choreography, which was really, really fun. So you'll see them doing that. And you'll see a lot of fun solo acts. And then we were trying to think of a trio. And Jessica Voss was like, I had music to a Whitney Houston song. And I just started playing it, and all 3 ladies just picked out harmony. So you'll see, like, it's just spontaneous harmony. They sound amazing. And there was no rehearsal. They just like, I'll be in the middle, I'll be on the top. And then finally talk about the crazy when you surprised me.
Right. So the variety
was a surprise.
The variety show was my favorite. There were a lot of great things about the experience.
James stars as Danny Zuko opposite Krista Rodriguez as Sandy. Just
yes.
FYI.
It was my favorite show because it was truly in the spirit of let's put on a show, and we'll rely on our experience and really talented people to make it work, because as you said, there was like 15 minutes of tech and really no rehearsal, an hour of rehearsal, and we did it. And the tech people on the cruise ship were amazing. David sang with Jessica. Did you say that? Did David Katz sing?
No, I forgot
so
that
he's
part.
in this video.
So David literally, David, I was like, think of a fun duet to do. And he's like, what about Sally Seymour? And I texted Jessica, and she's like, sure, I'll do it. So, like, Jessica's like star of Wicked, and David's still in school, but she was like, I'll do it. And they both sounded amazing together.
I know. David asked me, I don't know if I told you this, but David said, how do you do this? Like when I sang opposite Jessie Mueller when she did your concert series without passing out. And I was just like, you just have to breathe and know how wonderful they are. And he was great. He was great. I gave him a huge hug afterward. I just thought he was fantastic. But to get to your point, Seth, about what I loved was I thought there was a grand piano there, and normally for the concert series, it's best to use a keyboard. Use a keyboard.
It sounds better
it just sounds better through that. And normally Seth's never had a piano on any of our cruises we've done. And I saw the grand piano, and I was like, okay, I see the lights. I see we're in a big theater. Everyone's going to love it. And so I ran to Brittany, who was helping us, and I just said, I'm going to ask Seth I'm going to put him on the spot and make him. Actually, I don't even think I said asked. I said, because I did sort of say, you're going to do this.
Whisper to me first. He just announced it. It wasn't even like, I'm going to surprise you. He just surprised me.
Right. And Seth played Rhapsody in Blue and did an amazing
without music
job.
I was
completely memorized,
kind of having a panic attack, but I actually remembered it.
Yes. So we're going to play this, and then we have one more video, but David, I think we're going to save it for the end. And it's an amazing video. with David. All right, but here's the variety show, and then we're going to bring out Carson.
By the way, this is all
Yes.
from Seth's Big Fat Broadway Cruise.
Yes,
It's called, right?
yes, sir.
I breathe it in as hard as I can muster, and suddenly I start to see the luster. Ammonia in every way, every day I need less of myself and need more him. Dance with somebody. I wanna feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I wanna dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me.
Well, I'm sure you know how judgmental 11-year-old boys are and how difficult it is for me at school, what with being overweight and effeminate.
Thank goodness I've mastered the technique of disassociating myself. That's right, I'm no longer in my body. I'm in my head where it's safe.
The girl that's inside me.
With sweet understanding.
Sweet understanding.
With sweet understanding.
Sweet understanding. Dancing queen, feel the beat of the tambourine. You can dance, you can jive, having the time of your life. Ooh, see that girl, watch that scene, taking the dancing queen.
Yay!
Oh, I'm very
So-
excited. There's a hashtag that it's now trending, and it is David S. Seymour off Broadway.
There you go. Absolutely.
Finally,
Go,
after
Scott.
Conrad.
We agree. All right, let's bring on the co-founder of Be an Arts Hero. Please welcome to Stars in the House, Carson Elrod.
Oh, it's so great to be here. That was wonderful. I really loved watching that. That was great.
Thank you, Carson.
Hi,
Are
Carson.
you in New York? Where are you?
I am. I'm in Bushwick, Brooklyn.
And I know that you're a bigwig and being an arts hero, but what's your vocation? Were you a performer first? What's the deal?
Yeah. I'm a professional actor. I got done with NYU's graduate acting program in 2000. I've been a professional actor ever since. I've been on Broadway 3 times, most recently with Peter and the Starcatcher. Right before, in the fall, I was with Red Bull Theater's The Alchemist that got shut down because of COVID. So as theater was coming back, I was coming right along with it. I find my vocation as being a professional actor right here in New York City.
So tell everyone what Be an Arts Hero is, and is the name changing? What's the
Yes.
deal with that?
So Be an Arts Hero is a grassroots campaign started by myself and Brooke Ishibashi, who was on with you last year, and Jenny Grace McComb and Matthew Lee Earlbach. And what we wanted to do, it was July of 2020, and we just saw kind of the fabric of the reality of our lives unraveling in front of ourselves. We saw friends getting dropped by their agents because their agents didn't have any artist commissions, so they were closing. We saw theaters like the Upright Citizens Brigade closing.
Right.
And so we wanted to help. We had time on our hands, and we wanted to jump in the game, and we wanted to leverage our Rolodexes and our contact lists. And we thought, if we have the right person tweet the right thing with the right hashtag, maybe Congress will pass $100 billion in arts relief. So we kind of started there, and we had amazing people like Jane Krakowski and Billy Porter and B.D. Wong and Cher and Bette Midler all kind of jump in and amplify and do such amazing work early on. And then we started, for lack of a better term, just lobbying. We started to actually educate ourselves on arts advocacy, about the nature of the creative economy. And we started to call senators' offices and have conversations with policymakers to try to change the conversation in DC about America's arts workers, America's creative economy, and how big we are, how much trouble we're in, and how we could be the backbone of a great American economic recovery. And to your point, the name change, Be an Arts Hero is still a campaign. We're still running it. But somewhere along the line, we thought, you know what? Are we building something that might be around to stay? And we think that we are. And so we're calling it Arts Workers United.
Yeah.
And it is a 501c4 because
for lobbying.
We're lobbying.
Right.
We're lobbying. And so this is what we're doing is we're trying to give all 5.2 million American arts workers a loud voice in Washington, D.C.
And in fact, Carson, that's what you were testifying about, right? Because it was it the Small Business Administration? What was the committee you testified?
It was the Small Business Committee, and it is chaired by my representative, Nydia Velasquez. And as part of our work with Be an Arts Hero, one of the very first things that we did is we developed a list of asks. So one of the top asks that we had from the beginning is there should be a congressional hearing so that members of Congress can contemplate the contours of the creative economy to understand who we are, where we are, what we bring, and how anything the arts touches gets better. The outcomes, it becomes more efficient. It becomes just better. And then just financially, there's not one state in the union that doesn't have tens of thousands of arts workers that bring in billions to that state's GSP. And so we started to think about what a hearing might look like. And just everywhere we went, we asked. And then it was kind of a really fascinating process where I got looped into an email chain with Representative Velasquez's office, and they were talking about maybe having a hearing about Save Our Stages and SVOG and how it was going and how it was being administered by the SBA. And I found myself pulling aside, her chief of staff and a couple of other people and saying, okay, whether or not there is a hearing about Save Our Stages, don't you think there would be value in having a House hearing on the entirety of the creative economy, its power, its peril, and its promise? And that was in May of 2021. Okay. And that one email turned into 4 emails, turned into a whole summer. And we were basically told you should go around from office to office on the Small Business Committee and try to gauge interest. And we did that. It was Gavin Lodge, Nicole Salter, Jeffrey Omura, and myself. And we took dozens and dozens of meetings in August and September. And it worked.
That's amazing.
And all of a sudden, we were put in touch with Tracy Ennisser and Matt Bauman, who helped coordinate the hearings for the majority party. And we started talking to them, and we submitted a lot of data, and we had a lot of conversations with them. And then they drew up an official proposal, and they sent that up to senior staff, and senior staff presented it to the Small Business Committee. And the Small Business Committee made it their first hearing of 2022. So it shows you that they made it a priority right out of the gate. So it was very exciting.
Wait, is it the kind of thing where it's good news that it's the small business hearing because it's about giving money to all the smaller companies around the country?
Well, I think what's really exciting about it, and one of the things I was telling Congress about is, so the creative economy is 673,000 businesses, most of them small. Like when you think about 85% of performance companies, that could be dance, theater, anything, 85% of them employ less than 20 people full time. Wow. And then you have tons of people who are sole proprietors, who are in and of themselves a small business. So somebody who does art on Etsy or whatever. So the Small Business Committee is actually a committee that is perfect to contemplate the creative economy. And oftentimes I think in Congress, the arts kind of gets put into its own thing, and it's like, oh, it's arts and education, or it's arts this, or we have big discussions about arts allocations as it pertains to yearly budgets for the NEA. This is a different kind of conversation because it allows the people in the small business committee to think about us as an industry, not a cause.
That's amazing, Carson.
That's
Congratulations.
It's really amazing. It's what James and I have been talking about, is these little small businesses all over the country.
That's right.
So I guess my question is this the kind of thing, though, where there was Broadway Cares and there was Equity Fights AIDS, and it's like, wait, we're doing the same thing? Like, are you similar to the Actors Fund? I guess you're not, because you're not funding people, right?
No, we're not a relief organization, and we're not a charity. We are almost 100% advocacy. But you do get into this interesting thing with 501c3 and 501c4, because a lot of what we like to do is called advocacy you can see. So, we staged a big demonstration in Times Square, September 7th of 2020, that got a lot of attention and press. We like to do lots of stuff on Instagram and on Twitter. So that could all be in like 50c3 land.
Right.
But because it's like educational, but when you actually start to call members of Congress and say, hey, we have a legislative agenda, then you're lobbying. So more than anything, that's kind of what we're doing, is we're trying to get in Zoom rooms and talk to policymakers and say, this is why you should stabilize and stimulate the nation's creative economy, and in particular, arts workers.
So, Carson, before you go, we always like a call to action for our viewers. What would you ask our viewers to do to help this amazing cause?
Well, I would just say go to beanartshero.com and learn more about the creative economy. Watch the hearing. It was a really robust and fascinating conversation. I want everybody to know that the two of you are arts workers. Everybody who worked on that boat with you, like from the lighting designers to the people that put together those LEDs to the people that choreograph the dances to your orchestrator. There's 5.2 million of us that constitute $919 billion in value added to the United States economy. That is 5 times bigger than American agriculture. So if people want to learn more about the creative economy, and then of course, write to your reps and senators, call your reps and senators, tell them there's still 2.7 million arts workers completely unemployed. Omicron still is presenting unique challenges to making sure that the creative economy is stable and able to survive this pandemic. And it's essential to the American economy that we do.
Absolutely. Well,
Carson, I'm so impressed by your memorization skills, because a lot of times we'll have people on and they'll be like, everyone needs to know that there are 3.7, and they have all their notes up. Like, you obviously have that memorized. How do you have all those numbers memorized?
Well, I'm an actor, so for my job. No, but the other thing is too, is, we have been doing a version of this since July of 2020. Right. So when we first started, we were talking about 877 billion in value added to the economy and 5 million. And then the BEA, their 2019 numbers came out in 2020. So we had to recalibrate all the talking points. But once you've told 100 people that you're part of a $919 billion industry and a 5.2 million person American workforce, it just starts to carve its way into the neural networks. And I could talk about the creative economy in my sleep now. And I'm proud to, because it's amazing.
I'm so impressed, man.
Well, Carson, thank you so much for coming to Stars in the House. And everyone go to beanartshero.com and learn more. It
was an honor to be here. You guys are wonderful. And with 2.7 million arts workers out of work, with people as distressed as they are, to do what you're doing in the way you're doing it, and directing people to the Actors Fund to get them life-saving help. Nothing could be better right now. Thank you both.
Oh,
Carson, you're so great. Can't wait to see you on Broadway again.
Me too.
All right, bye, Carson.
All right,
beanartshero.com.
Yes.
Do you want to read any?
Yes, let's read a couple of these, and we'll bring on Dr. LaPook. And I don't think I know he hasn't seen the amazing 2021 reel that David Katz put together. That's going to be a Dr. LaPook highlight reel. But in the meantime, Seth, where are we here?
So the amazing Seattle Susie Q, one of our regulars, gave us $25, and she wrote, "We missed you. Looking forward to tonight's best of that is coming up very soon."
Yes. And welcome back, Seth and James. We missed you. Many thanks to Julia for keeping the Sith Core fam sane with reruns and a chance to stay in touch, because I know they have a robust Facebook page. That's from Cheryl Kaufman, who donated $30.
Now, by the way, you should put in the comments, like, can anybody just join the Sith Core fam if they want to stay connected? Like, Julia should just put up how people can join, because I'm sure we have some new viewers tonight.
Absolutely. You wanna read that one, Seth?
Scott wrote, "Happy to be back with my Sith," that stands for Stars in the House, core family, Seth, James, and everyone at Stars in the House who continue to give me hope and promise in this new-ish year. Love, Scott Holloway. And Seth, I forgive you for having to cancel your show when I was in New York City over Thanksgiving. Even though you obviously hate me, want me to suffer. Scott, I'm so sorry. I do hate you, but I love the $25. Thank you, Scott.
Mark from Massachusetts. I continue to appreciate all you guys do. Mark donated $100. Thank you very much.
Mark. Oh, this is my pal. Hi, Seth and James. Nice to be back. It's Donald from London, aka Manchester.
Seth always says London, but Donald really isn't from.
I don't even think he's from Manchester either.
Oh, I'm sure, but you're just—it's just Donald.
If he's from England, he's from London.
Go ahead.
So it's Donald from London. He says, "I'll get it one day."
Yes.
I don't know if I actually will.
No, probably not.
This is his first donation of the year. He got to save up for the big bill coming for the cruise. Right, Donald's coming on our cruise.
Oh,
I think it's
Norwegian Fjords.
Norwegian
in July.
Fjords. The big bill. It's not that expensive. How dare you? I bought the February concert tickets already. Oh yeah, my live concerts have concert series. Have I announced?
Just went on sale. Thank you. And Donald donated $25 to the
£25 or euros.
Go ahead. You want to say who the actors funded, and then who actors funded the Seth concert series, and we'll bring in Dr. LaPook.
Yes, why not? I have coming up this Sunday. Not only is she, by the way, starring in American Auto, an amazing Beltress, the amazing Anna Gassar, but more importantly, she started a hashtag on Stars in the House, which was
simmering marital tensions.
That's literally based, by the way, tension.
Tension.
You don't even know your own hashtag?
You know what? It's been 2 years, Seth.
Hi.
It's been a long time.
So
okay.
Anyway, Anna is
450 shows ago or whatever it was. I can't either.
And then I have in February just announced Eden Espinoza is coming up.
Yes.
And
Patty Murin,
game night regular.
Right, it's going to be a matinee because it's the Super Bowl. Seth was like, "Oh, Patty will do an evening show," and Patty's like, "I want to watch the Super Bowl."
I was like, "No one watches the Super Bowl, right?" And she's like, "I do." I was like, "Oh my god!" And then,
but I think Patty and I are going to sing a duet together. We got to figure out. We got to figure out what we're going to sing.
And then the following week from the prom, I have Caitlin Knoonan.
And there may be another.
Yeah, there may be
another person.
one or two more coming.
Yes, one or two. More.
All right, so let's
bring on Dr. Jon LaPook, the chief medical correspondent of CBS and Stars in the House.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hi, Dr. LaPook.
Are you in your secret bunker?
I'm in a secret, undisclosed bunker in an undisclosed place.
Cool.
With a lot of pictures behind you.
I'm at a friend's house right now, and we were having dinner, and then I said, "It's 8:30. I gotta go." So,
absolutely. So Dr. LaPook, we haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. What I can only imagine the amount of calls and questions you've gotten about Omicron and what's going on. What is the most common question or questions that you've been getting? What are the answers?
when can I come out of my cave? When can we stop wearing masks? And
Forget that.
The good news is that I've lost count of how many patients and friends I have who have breakthrough infections from Omicron. And as of now, everybody has done well, including 3 people who were quite immunocompromised.
Wow.
So
that's great.
All of them were vaccinated except for one person. And I was worried about that person, but they did okay. What I would say to people is this is not the time. I know it's so tempting to just say, I'm going to go have an Omicron party, like a chickenpox party, right? Don't do that right now because, and again, I'm always quoting him, but I spoke to Tony Fauci about this the other day, and he said, look, you don't want to play Russian roulette because you may be fine, but he said the virus has a bullet in its chamber, and you don't know who has been vaccinated. Like 90% of people, something like that, who are in the ICU have been unvaccinated. But that means 10, maybe 15% have been vaccinated. They were unlucky. They could have been, healthy, or they more likely had some underlying medical condition. So just hold it out. It's amazing, right? Ice pick up, and it's coming ice pick down in New York City, New Jersey, Washington, but we're seeing it roll across the country right now. So I'm going to be heading out to California in about a week, just in time for, it's kind of peaked there and starting to come down there. But I think we're going to see it coming down quickly. And of course, the $1 million question is going to be, is this the off ramp with a few bumps, with a bunch of bumps?
Right.
Or are we going to see another variant? And I was just speaking to a bunch of virologists today about this. And if you look at this is encouraging. If you look at the y-axis, like how many people actually got the various, beta and alpha and delta and Omicron, it keeps getting higher and higher. And Omicron, it just shot up.
Right.
So at this point, you have so many people who have been infected that the hope is that you're getting some sort of, herd immunity is a very confusing term for everybody. It's some sort of population-based immunity where people have either been infected or they have been vaccinated, and that even if there is some variation of, there will be another variant,
right?
But that hopefully will have enough protection. But you still have billions of people around the world who have not been vaccinated, and those are the people who really have to make sure to get vaccinated.
Right. Seth, did you have a question?
I was just wondering because some people will say, "Oh, I got Omicron," and they'll say they lost taste and smell, and I was like, I thought that's only Delta. Does Omicron you also lose taste and smell?
Yes, but it seems like the percentage of people losing taste and smell is less with Omicron than with Delta. It's not the stats aren't totally in, but that is the sense that we're getting. Also, the CDC today or yesterday published something saying it does in fact seem to be milder than Delta. That statistically, if you get Omicron, you're less likely to be hospitalized or die than if you got Delta. But again, that doesn't mean that you throw caution to the wind. But I do have the sense that we're headed to the off ramp. I'm cautiously optimistic that hopefully we can find our way out of this. And I would just say, you've heard me say this for 2 years. Have empathy for yourself. This is depressing. It is depressing.
Yeah.
To wear a mask. It is depressing to not be able to hug your friends without testing yourself 5 minutes before. It's depressing to have to think about this constantly. I just want you to. If I was 10 years old, and I was talking to my mom, I would say, I want to go out and play.
Right.
I want to go out and play like everybody else.
All right. Well, there's going to be many more questions, but before I want you to go back to where you are with your friends. But David put together this amazing reel that, of course, I don't know how many times you appeared on Stars in the House in 2021. So this is, as Seth would say, a smattering of them. But David put the dates of the appearances. It's really fascinating. So here we go.
And I'm Bush. Okay.
Yes, it is. Dr.
I hope my
LaPook.
Bush is amused.
I would say this about masks. They are more important now than ever. So yesterday was Groundhog's Day. And do we want 6 more weeks of COVID?
Right.
And it's up to us. We are totally empowered to do this. This is our moment when we need to crush this pandemic. We need to really get it down. If we don't do a ton of vaccinations, and if we don't do the social distancing and all the stuff about mitigation and wearing masks, it will come. It's just a fact. It will come roaring back. Even though it's painful in the moment, we have to say we're going through this and be present about it. But there is this really hopeful future, which I'm feeling and seeing much more right now. But here's the thing. Coronavirus, this is a novel virus. That means we've never seen it before. That means nobody has significant immunity to it to start off with, which means we're all susceptible to it. That's why there is a, wait for it, pandemic. So if there's no herd immunity, then that means if you don't get the vaccine, one of 2 things are going to happen in your future. You're going to decide to get the vaccine, or you're going to get COVID. Look, it's an astonishing, all of the vaccines are astonishing in terms of protecting you from what we care about the most, which is hospitalization and death. I am very, very confident. I've looked at every page of any research on this, that the benefits of this vaccine far, far, far outweigh the risks. We need to reach out. There's nobody better at communicating to the public than artists. Nobody. So that's your homework assignment.
Okay. Okay. We would love to do
Aren't you
that.
glad you came on? I gave you more work.
This is what you can do. We're on the street on Central Park West in the wherever we are.
80s.
In the 80s. And this is what you can do if you're vaccinated, double vaxxed. You can walk on the street without a mask
and have a cone.
99.5% of all deaths in the last 6 months have been in unvaccinated people. The aerosol scientists are more and more saying the plain cloth mask alone probably is not good enough given Delta. So if you can't get one of those better masks, surgical mask plus on top of that a double ply. I think just the same way as you go into a restaurant and it has the health department inspection, and I think when you go into a theater or even a public building, here's the ventilation, here are the filters that we have, here's the air exchange.
Yes, sir.
Check, check, check. But they have really taken on the role very seriously of educators, because if there was ever a time when we needed educators who actually are well educated themselves, it is right now during this epidemic, this pandemic of COVID, and a pandemic of disinformation and misinformation. You are 20 times more likely to die if you are unvaccinated than if you are vaccinated and boosted. We know that it's protecting you from serious illness. And that's what happened with Delta. We expect it to happen with Omicron. I've never liked that phrase social distancing, have I? From the very beginning, I'm calling it physical distancing.
Right.
I think one of the things I'm most proud of with Stars in the House is that you guys have set up an atmosphere where people are not as socially isolated, where we would give little pieces of advice, right? After this show is over, pick up the phone and call 3 people. Remember that? A year ago?
Yes, of course.
All 3 people. And people did it.
Yeah.
So I would give that same piece of advice now. Reach out to people, embrace each other, and give yourself a break, because it's been an emotionally very tough time. Wow. That is.
What do you think when you see that?
That was
John?
just 2021, just the last year.
I'll tell you what I was thinking. Somebody at the very beginning of the pandemic said you should keep a diary. And I just couldn't do it. It's just, I couldn't do it. But I'm thinking Stars in the House is my diary.
Yeah, it's ours.
And David Katz, bravo and bravo.
I know, right, David?
That took I know what it takes to go. He went through an hours and picked out.
Yes.
David, really amazing.
Thank you.
That's something I'm going to show my grandchildren, and they will be so bored.
Absolutely. Thank you. That was amazing. I cannot tell you how much content I had to use and how difficult it was to put together, because everything you say is so pointed and clear, and all these comments were just amazing about this video. But Dr. LaPook, it has been such a thrill getting to see you speak, and thank you for sharing your time. It was a privilege to put that together.
Well, David, thank you. And, you're young enough that I can say that we've I think James and Seth feel the same way. We've seen you blossom over the last couple of years. The David Katz I'm talking to now is not the same David Katz from the beginning.
I agree.
Thank you. Wow.
And,
I agree.
Thanks.
You've been a force.
Wow.
And so kind and so hardworking and by the way, so efficient. I would say to him 38 seconds before I'm on, can you rip this from the internet and put it on as a video? And it's like a minute later, it's on the video. So
I know.
So bravo to you, David. You're gonna do great, because you're already doing great. Just more of the same.
Thank you so much, Dr. LaPook.
David, you're going to stick around in a little bit, and we'll bring you on because we have another video. But Dr. LaPook, I'll before you go, the thing that really struck me about that was the fact that you said in August, basically not that you have to wear you didn't say KN95 and N95, but you said the cloth masks aren't enough, and that was in August.
Yeah, we've because we know people. You don't have to be smart; you just have to know somebody smart. The Kim Prathers of the world who told us, and Lindsay Marr, that it's in the air. We said that a year and a half ago, and now suddenly it's this big discovery. But it's just if you don't have an ego that's saying, I know it's going to be my way or the highway, and you listen to the experts and you filter it and you try to then digest it and present it in a logical way, giving perspective. Hopefully that's what the three of us have done, plus David Katz.
Absolutely. All right, Dr. LaPook, we're going to be back on Monday. I hope you can. We're going to do our show dedicated.
I'll be there. And David Katz, send me a link you got to send me that.
I know we're always late with that. All right, bye.
All right. Hey, he's nodding yes. All right, we'll see you. Bye, Dr. LaPook.
Always late.
Okay. So we
got some more best ofs.
David,
2021,
did an amazing job. Yeah, this is all 2021. Let's start.
Well, probably for our 2-year anniversary. Maybe we could do a best of 2 years. You know.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. Well, let's do 2021 first, and let's start with our base Broadway
reunions.
And so it's kind of just tells it tells its story. David did an amazing job, so let's just hit it. Go ahead, Seth, what are you going to say?
I was going to say when we first began Stars in the House, we were just kind of booking people. And then it's interesting how things evolved, and it really turned into let's have a reunion of this show, and it became these full casts, and that really I think came to fruition in 2021. These full cast reunions.
Yeah, there's a lot of them here. I know there's going to be some that you're going to be like, oh, I forgot about that. Sure. I know that's how I felt.
Thank you, James.
Love you.
Tons of squeezes. James, thank you.
Wow, it's amazing. We all look the same, right?
Of course.
Yeah. We all look the same. We all look alike. Yes.
But whether it was a Wednesday morning or a Saturday night, all of us and the ensemble performed at 150%. Yeah. These people were getting a face full of head over heels, whether they liked it or not.
And I was blessed, and I've said this to her 1,000 times, with Judy Kuhn as Golda, who was just a joy.
And I always say that we, somewhere off in the ether, we were having a discussion with each other, and somebody said, I'm going to be an actor, I'm going to be a composer, I'm going to be a lyricist, I'm going to be a choreographer, I'm going to be an orchestrator, and I don't know what it is, but we're all going to get together on a planet in one really special time, and we're going to do something incredible together. And that's what this show felt like. And being with you guys, just the memories, Mark, just talking about that. Sorry, now I'm our handshake. I just relived every night what we got to do and feel.
And Kelly saw the whole thing from way on the other side of the stage. And I don't know how you knew to look at me in that moment, just because you did. And she saw me freeze, and she jumped out of the set as the curtain was flying up, and she just jumped up in her little turquoise dress and said, "Mother, just do it, okay? Just do it. It's like you're a newscaster, just like you're doing the news."
So it was fun to try and break Lena. It was kind of masochistic, wasn't it?
It was horrible.
Here I am saying I want this to be theater. At the same time, I'm trying to get her to break on stage.
We really had a wonderful time as collaborators. We never really had a fight or a disagreement or anything. We respected each other, and you know, it's also special in a musical when there's only two people who are writing it.
So we have Lindsay and Derek, and the rest of us were just there to be a supporting cast that couldn't have been happier to be there, man. So
no one ever missed a performance either.
No.
Or did I agree to do this? Is that ever part of your dream? Like, I don't think I agreed to do this. Did I?
Yeah, I've never done Wicked. I've never done Wicked, and I repeatedly have a Wicked nightmare dream where that's what I was gonna say. I don't have shows that I've been in, just shows I've never been in. Like, no, I never auditioned for this.
Seth
the hell was I?
I don't know.
Okay, that's a weird ending.
Well, you know what? That's actually a great segue.
It's like seeing post my death how the show goes on.
No, well, listen. There's in our clips here. It's the next one says Seth, don't look.
Yeah,
and it actually kind of what you just said, Seth, segues into that, because of that clip. We don't know where in the hell you are, but in the next clip that I want to show, it was my favorite reunion, Broadway reunion of 2021, and I wasn't a part of it. Because it was your Dreamgirls concert.
Yes, the concert version.
And that Seth had done in September 2001. And I was with you here at the very beginning, and then our friend Ryan Perry was working on our house, and I had to drive him back to the city. And I was like, I'm going to drive Ryan back, and I'm going to listen to it in the car. So I listened to the show in the car with Ryan, and it was a long reunion. And actually, I think I finished. I drove to New York, an hour away, and I was like almost home when it was done, and I listened to it, and it was so moving. It was the work that you've done.
Me?
Yeah, you, Seth.
Oh.
And so it was my favorite because these extremely amazingly talented people were loving on my husband, very deservedly so. And so David put this together.
Seth, I don't know how you do what you do in a flash.
I know.
I'm just always astonished by all of you. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you. And the feeling is mutual. And can I just add, Seth, we never really touched on how you and I first worked together. And I just want everybody to know that, early, maybe it was the late 80s, early 90s. I can't remember. But I don't know if it was my agent, but somebody said, this guy, Seth Rudetsky, he's bringing art and music into the AIDS wards of the hospitals. And he wanted to know if you would come and sing some songs for them. Wow. And that's how we first met. Wow. And you have always used art as a healing, powerful, uplifting source of comfort and joy.
Yes.
And I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you from the time we were together in I can't remember the name of the hospital in Hell's Kitchen.
St. Clair's.
St. Clair's Hospital, singing on the AIDS wards of the hospital and bringing those people some love and some joy and some light to that 20th anniversary Dreamgirls concert, and bringing those people some comfort and some joy and some light. So
yes.
That's so nice. First of all, David, thank you for finding that. And my God, Tamara Tooney, that was so beautiful. Oh my God.
Wow.
Talk about having a video diary of your life.
Well, Tamara was so eloquent, and I loved how Audra was really nodding on St. Clair's. Did she go?
Audra was always there. I mean, that people don't know what it's called. It's a great organization called Hearts and Voices, and Nancy Sundag and Matt McClanahan started it in around 1991. And basically they're around 8 different hospitals, and you'd go into the AIDS ward, and there'd be like a music person coordinator like me, and bringing all these singers every single week. And my St. Clair's was a prison ward. So they were prisoners, but their AIDS, the prison hospitals weren't good enough to deal with the AIDS that they had. So they'd go into this locked ward of this hospital. But anyway, Audra was there constantly. I mean, oh my God, Audra was always there. It's just, everyone was doing it. It was great, but it was like, it's just like Stars in the House. It was the same thing. It was 3:00 in the afternoon. And of course the prison warden would always be like, you can't give me singer's name an hour before. I'm like, please. Every week they'd be like, you can't call us the last minute. I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Because they had to give ID and get, it was the exact same. So David's cackling. It was the same thing. I'm not organized, but by the time the show happens, it's always great.
How did you last at the Rosie O'Donnell show?
That's a good question. I don't know how to answer that, but everything was always the last minute anyway, because it was day to day. So
that's why
it was a daily show. So
because it was a daily show, so every 24 hours it was a new thing. Yeah. That makes sense, because it's just your mind, the way that it works. That's
up to the minute.
It was amazing watching, because I said, Seth, like everyone except Heather, because Heather you didn't have that history with.
Yeah, Heather, I met
Darius
after.
You did, and Lilia's.
They all did my prison shows.
Yeah, and Brenda.
Oh my God!
Right?
Yeah, I've known Brenda since. That was so lovely. Thank you, James.
Absolutely,
thank you, David.
And of course I asked David at the last minute. That's why I'm saying that. Look at him. Yes, he's like, that's why I said I'm not that far behind you in the last minuteness of it all. Okay, so David put together this because one of the things that we did a lot of in 2021 were our game nights.
We really began those really in earnest in 2021.
That's right. And it was really sort of because we began it in December, right? At the
Our mega
very
ones.
end, yeah, and to raise money for our 501c3 to help fund Stars in the House. And so David put together this really great compilation of favorite game night highlights, moments. Yeah. So here we go.
Wait.
Yeah,
It was confusing.
Oh, I thought you, Pedro.
Yeah. Yes. You better glockenspiel that. It's a song?
Musical.
Get sent. Wait.
No. Whoa, you're out of frame, babe. You're out of frame.
Oh, he's tap dancing. I don't know. Garrett Champion.
Yes.
Oh, that was him directing angrily.
But first, I want to say red and white together is pink.
Man.
Oh, wow. I don't know, but it's working for me.
Man.
Elaine Stritch?
Everyone for themselves. No, it's you have your something is very white.
It was Wowzy Wowzy Woo Woo, and it was a dream Seth had as a kid. It was never a cartoon.
What rescuing us? Seth made that up. He made
Hey.
that up.
Anybody watching, nobody remembers, but they go, wowzy, wowzy, woo, woo. You don't remember that?
Is it from the Depression? Like, I don't even know.
It's not from the Depression.
That's not from like a.
I'm
confused.
Seth made that up.
It's Mary Mac.
Mac.
With a shapely figure. Is
Barbara.
it a singer? Barbara.
Movie. So it was a movie.
All right. Round
Let's
two.
get back to the dental dams.
That's right.
We're a couple of swells. We gonna hey,
We're like Mary Todd Lincoln.
Right. Yeah. Yep. I see that now. I see that now. I definitely see that now.
The solidarity does not end there. Second of all, it's a very creamy dressing. Red wine vinegar. We're not all on diets, people. Red wine vinegar is not a creamy dressing. You can pretend it is.
Wow.
No idea what you're doing.
Wait a minute. He's lurking here?
I think I need to be changed.
My daughter. But wait, why is my daughter so sassy? It's such a specific. My daughter.
You know, when your daughter is, when my daughter's 16, so she's very this word.
When did your daughter get to be 16? When did
Yeah,
that
it happened. It happened overnight.
During COVID, honey. COVID has been 5 years, hon.
Oh my God.
Hey, Carrie, you're trending. I'm not passing.
And she puts a fire. No, She took us to Brooklyn there. I'm not passing.
Totally, Judy. It made us all feel like losers.
Carrie Butler.
It's a wig night in honor of Hairspray.
Yes.
Wow,
queen.
it really is. Poor little Jack.
You don't have to see. Just listen to the
Okay.
answers.
Okay.
I don't make any eye contact when I'm acting.
Okay. That's a good note. That's a good.
Yes, bagel.
I was trying to
Leo,
relate.
don't give them clues. Don't give the other team clues.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Okay. I don't want to. I've never had sex more on camera and people not understanding that I'm having violent sex.
I
and
was
saying
not
the safe
getting
word.
that at all.
I thought you were just getting murdered. I didn't know there was any sex.
You need to have
Song.
Climb
Every Mountain. Christmas Carol.
Thank you.
Oh God.
That was a Christmas Carol?
I don't know. That was all so funny. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
David, you did a great job on putting that together. I don't know
Oh my
how in the hell you did it.
What about TVs?
Well, we have TV reunions, but which one do you want to do first, Seth? Do you want to do the real, or do you want to do like the little
comedy?
deconstructing? What do you want to do? What order?
I guess we should do the comedy. I don't know.
I say that we do the little deconstruction here. So I want to say that this was either our first or our second TV reunion of 2021, and it was Grey's Anatomy. And So Grey's Anatomy, when we knew that we were going to do the reunion, I guess we had maybe a month's notice. Chandra Wilson, one of the stars of Grey's Anatomy, is on the board of trustees of the Actors Fund. And so she was organizing it.
Yeah.
And of course, we had heard of Grey's Anatomy, but we had never seen it.
No, I never seen it. So we had a month. So we were like, oh, we better watch it. And then we started watching it. We actually like became obsessed. And we would watch probably 2, sometimes even 3 episodes a night.
Right.
But as everybody knows, Grey's Anatomy has been on for how many seasons?
Almost like 18 years.
18 years. So we got kind of through the first, I think, maybe 3 seasons.
Yeah, we got through a lot. Yeah.
And then we were like, we better watch the current season. So we watched the first 3, then we watched the current season. And the current season had all these people on like we didn't even know, but we kind of watched it. But anyway, we were like, you know what? We researched everyone that was coming on.
That's right.
You know, and this happened before. I mean, full disclosure, I'd never seen Melrose Place. So when Melrose Place was on, I was like, oh my God, what about that time with the wedding dress? Because like I had researched and I was able to name drop like I knew it. So for Grey's Anatomy, we were prepped. We knew all the characters. We knew what to name drop. We're like, we are set.
Yeah.
Now watch what happens and watch how calm we are when this shocking reveal happens because a new character joins.
Yes, a character that, by the way, does not join Grey's Anatomy in season 3. And remember, this is that's all we had gotten to. We knew up to season 3, and we knew the current season. This is 2021.
Now what? No, so this is
It's just like her.
This is in front of the curtain. So this is what we presented to the public when she made her guest appearance.
Yes.
Hey, listen. By the way, I know you guys. The show takes place in Seattle, but you guys live in Los Angeles. But one of our favorite places is, of course, Arizona. I love Arizona. What?
Hey.
What?
Hi, my baby.
Hello.
So it looks like, wow, what a fun surprise. That's so amazing.
And oftentimes we have surprise guests.
Yeah.
So what actually happened was we're doing the show, and I think it was Camilla.
Yeah, it was Camilla.
Somehow texted me. Somehow I got the information that Jessica Capshaw is coming on the show. She's like, you're going to flip out. Jessica Capshaw is joining. So I was like, oh, that's amazing. So I wrote to James. I'm like, somebody's joining. Like, I don't know who Jessica Capshaw is. And he was like, you better find out who the hell it is. So, but we're still doing the reunion.
We're live.
So because we can't bring someone on and be like, oh my God, you're so great as who and stuff. So I started frantically researching while we're doing it, thinking that, by the way, it wasn't noticeable. And now David found the clip. It's horrifically noticeable that James finally pushes me off camera because my research is so over the top.
Yeah.
So this is what was happening right before Arizona, who I never effing heard of, joined the show.
And so this is actually, this is a close-up view
of what was happening right before when I was frantically researching, where James pushes me off camera finally.
Yeah, and you can see me when Seth finds the answer. I put on my glasses.
Like, who is Jessica Capshaw?
Trying to read the information.
I'll start us off. Like we said a little bit in the last segment, we got the opportunity to talk with the writers a little bit before we came in, and it was.
Just FYI, David did a close-up. Yeah. So that wasn't, we were just one square, but David just isolated the panic that we were going through.
I'll start us off. Like we said a little bit in the last segment, we got the opportunity to talk with the writers a little bit before we came in. And it was less about storyline, but more about where are you? How are you feeling, right? Like what are you there's no way to get through this time and not be fundamentally changed. We were able to talk about things that maybe, somebody hadn't thought about before.
More isolating, I guess,
Yeah.
chit chat and stuff like that.
It is so obvious.
It was literally an actor's nightmare that we're hosting.
I love how I do this.
Oh yeah, because it was crazy. Because we did it. Now, of course, we're obsessed with Arizona because she's amazing on the show.
A great character.
But we had not seen her. Oh my God, it's so anxiety. So now we'll show a little bit more of her coming on.
That's right. So
we didn't know who she was, anything about her. Right. Hey, listen, by the way, I know you guys, the show takes place in Seattle, but you guys live in Los Angeles. But one of our favorite places is, of course, Arizona. I love Arizona. What?
Hey. What? Hi, my baby. Hello.
Wait, I think you're muted. Hold on.
Jessica, you got to unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself.
This is what happens with
Join.
surprise.
Join.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi. A drive-by with Capshaw.
I know.
How are you, Jessica?
You can't
We
hear us?
can't hear us.
Jessica, go
Okay,
off.
now I can.
Back on.
Yay!
Hi.
I heard you guys are raising some money for some stuff.
Sure.
Basically.
We are. For the
Oh my God, everyone loves you. There's a lot of love you, Jessica. Everyone's like having a breakdown everywhere. Oh my God.
I was like texting her as I was like waiting to come into the session. I was like, Jessica, like you're all over the comment section. She's like, should I join? I'm like, yes, you need to join.
I feel like I'm freaking out right now as much as the fans are. I miss you so much, Jessica.
I'm in Atlanta and I just got home from work and I literally I got Camilla's text and I was like, I'm a coming.
He was a mess. We were a mess.
By the way, I love this. A great way to bring her on. Thank you. I'm really proud of myself that I researched her character name was Arizona. Didn't know anything about her.
It was a great save, Seth. It was a great save.
And Bob, who does that great podcast, which by the way, there's a whole podcast about Stars in the House. And I told Bob we were going to listen to it on our way to Provincetown. Remember, you got sick.
Man.
So we still haven't listened to it.
That's right.
But Bob had a panic attack.
Okay. So that was one of the first reunions we did of 2021. But David put together one that was more all-encompassing of 2021. And it's got some amazing singing from Allison Smith and Sarah Bareilles.
The original Annie, Allison Smith.
That's right.
We were incorrigible, all of us young ones. We really
You were, Richard. You thankfully, you and Eric, I mean, you kept us going sometimes with silly antics and jokes and things.
Like an old married couple with scrubs on, you know.
Look at the two of them.
Seth and James really are really
forgot about that.
Oh my God.
We would reenact all the scenes after we would see an episode. That's not weird, is it? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, Charo.
Hola, amiga. It really was a family, and I'm so grateful. It was a family. All these people. It ruined us for other TV. I mean, we never left the set. We all just hung out and laughed. I mean, it was just, there's been, no other jobs are like this. It was the best. The best family ever.
He's hanging low there in the first scene. In the beginning, she's hanging low. So if you see where that camera is, it's right.
She's on the merry-go-round behind you, just going around. And
I have to tell you, I look at these faces and, all of us share a really unique moment in time. All of us, we went from obscurity to a very different life almost overnight. And Tony was our fearless leader. And it was such an exciting thing to be part of and to see all of you guys and not to see any gray hair, which really pisses me off.
Oh, it's there.
If you don't have any, you can't get gray.
Deep cheap. Time calls that deep cheap. Yes.
My heart is so full of gratitude beyond words.
Thank you for all the beautiful work you did since you guys were children, and now you're doing it again. It's so thrilling.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Tomorrow, I love you tomorrow. You're always a day
Thank you all so much. This was such a delightful evening.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so
welcome back
to see
anytime.
all you guys again. I love you all.
Okay, one more.
I need someone bad. Are you bad?
Delivery.
This is basically the whole show.
If I wanted to listen to an asshole, I'd have farted. Debbie was such a class act.
Somebody had to come in and teach you how to fold laundry, and I was like,
I believe that's true.
Always be wealthy.
That's
Show
I
business.
mean, I was
Hollywood.
like, what are these clothes, and why are you wearing them again?
And I'll accidentally text a pic of my vagina to my dad. Thank you.
It's my favorite song, Sarah.
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful.
It's my favorite.
Hold on, Renee. Okay, go ahead, Renee.
The not worth it.
That is belting. That is belting, ladies and gentlemen.
That is belting.
Like a full-time job and beyond, these two. Like truly, Seth and James, what you're doing for the community at large is so unfucking believable. So thank you. Thank you.
And how long you've been doing
Yes.
it. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, that was so nice.
Wow.
I'd completely forgotten that Sarah had
sung that song.
Had sung the song
and texted you that picture by accident. What?
was just so was really nice in what she said.
That was so nice of her. I forgot that
Such
too.
a big fan of hers, so to hear her say that is really touching. I think we're done, but before we go, David, you got to come on because we want to bring it full circle here. So David, bring yourself on. Okay, David, again, I'm sure you see the comments with the reels, these highlight reels that you put together. Thank you so much. You did an amazing job.
So much work, girl.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, it was a thrill to put them together. Really, truly.
Because I really didn't give you, any like guidance at all. I just
listen. It was incredible just to comb through all those episodes and all the amazing work we've done, and it was truly incredible. So thank you for allowing me to do it, and I hope everybody enjoyed them.
I can tell that they
Comments
did.
are amazing.
But David, let me ask you before we show this last video before we go. Did you have a favorite show of 2021? I haven't asked you that before.
Yeah, probably Suddenly Seymour's. Just because of the show and the connection to that, and just my love for the character, and yeah, probably the Seymours, to see everybody come together, the original and everybody. So that was my favorite.
And Alan Menken was on it too, right?
Alan Menken, yep, Lee and everybody. See, Jeremy, Hunter. It was incredible. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
That
All right,
was really fun.
so David, set up the video, and then you can play it yourself.
So we had an amazing time in Mexico and the Caribbean, and my light just died. That's fine. But we were in Belize, and we found this great snorkeling trip, because we love to snorkel, and we did that pretty much every day. We took this amazing boat ride out to this little private island with this amazing tour guide, and at the end of the day, she gave us all fish to hold in our hands, and there were these specific kind of fish that would see it and jump up and grab it. So we were like, oh, great, this is fun. We'll hold a fish out. Another fish will come and eat it. Great. So you were supposed to put it in between your hands and let go of it when the fish came. But I think, James, let's show the video and you'll see what happened.
Go.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, yeah, you do it. You hit it.
My whole hand, and you'll see it scarring, and it starting to heal, not scarring, but the whole fish in my hand. That was crazy.
Did you shut down? Like, what was your reaction after? Were you in a state of shock?
I didn't really realize. I looked down and I was like, oh, there's a little bit of a scrape, and it developed over time, but I was like, the fish just bit me. I was like, what the heck just happened? And they were like, yeah, you didn't let go of the fish. It bit you. And they were like, these fish have tiny teeth. If it was any other fish, your hand would be off. So I was freaking out just because of the sheer fact that had just happened. But the video really pushed me over the edge, seeing how far my hand was inside of that fish. Because
it's crazy.
It was crazy. I mean, my whole hand is pretty much in the fish. I pretty much could have pulled it out of the water.
I know.
Unbelievable. So
my
crazy.
Gosh.
I don't drive and I don't go on scuba trips.
Yeah, Seth wasn't with us.
Maybe you're the smart one, but look at that. Got the proof. So crazy.
And yet another reason why Seth will never go snorkeling with me or Julie.
Not available, dear.
All right, David, you want to hit the credits? We're going to be back on Monday with our show celebrating the amazing and hard work of understudies and standbys. And
Sunday night, my live concert
with Anna Gasteyer.
The Seth Concert
Rudetsky.
Series. Yes, ma'am.
Right.
All right.
We'll see you next week.
Roll credits. All right. Bye, everyone. Thanks for all the amazing donations.